In July of 1980, I embarked on a journey that would change my life forever. In a way, I lost my life and found a new one. I was a 19-year-old big city kid, born and raised in Scottsdale, Arizona, in an upper-class family. Now I was headed for southern Peru to serve as a missionary for 2 years. In preparation, I had 2 months of intense training in the Spanish language and the Peruvian culture. I thought I was ready until I arrived in Peru. I remember my first dinner with the Guzman family. I was asked if I needed a fork. I had no clue what they were trying to say to me. I thought I had learned the wrong language. Fortunately, within a few months, I was beginning to understand most people, though speaking came much slower. My life would be very different for the next 2 years. Hot showers were a thing of the past, and sometimes the plumbing wasn't so great. Shopping for food would have been a challenge. Luckily, we didn't have to shop or cook for ourselves. Consequently, I grew to love Peruvian food, and I still crave it. I learned about new modes of transportation too. Mostly we walked everywhere, or took buses or taxis occasionally. The dirt roads would become rivers of mud during the rainy season. We'd crack off the dried mud from our shoes and repolish them, and they'd be as good as new. In spite of the differences in our cultures, I quickly became Peruvian in my heart. The greatest compliment I ever received was to be nicknamed Cholito Blanco, or Little White Indian. I fell in love with Peru and her people. I made some discoveries about Peruvians. Even though the majority of people were very poor and living in conditions we would consider below poverty level, they seemed to be the happiest people on earth. Even if they weren't the most talented, it never kept them from joining in the singing, dancing, or storytelling regardless of their age. Families would sing together, dance together, and laugh together. Even though most people had very little in the way of material things, they would literally give you their last morsel of food or the very shirt off their backs. Peruvians love to make friends, and when you make a Peruvian your friend, you make a friend for life. Even though my purpose for living in Peru was to share my faith and teach and serve them, they gave me more and taught me lessons about life and happiness that I could never have learned any other way, and it has changed my life forever. When the time came for me to go home, my parents met me at the Los Angeles airport. They asked me what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. They suggested a few tourist sites so that we could spend some time together. All of a sudden, a flood of memories began to fill my mind. Memories of my incredible experiences and the amazing friends that I had made and would probably never see again. Tears turned to sobs as I sat there in the car, contemplating the last 2 years of my life. The only place I wanted to go was back to Peru. What I learned from my experience in Peru is that if you really want to find happiness, you have to lose yourself in the service of others.